From the United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock, Big 12 basketball tonight as Colorado visits 16th ranked Texas Tech. Hello again, everyone. John Harris here alongside Chris Level. Red Raiders are back home after winning at West Virginia last time out. That snapped a two-game losing streak. Buffs have won 2 of their last 3, and Chris, no doubt, won another shot at Grant McCasland's team after losing to him by just 2 points earlier this season.
Yeah, John, you played him about a month ago to the day. You led that game by 24 with a little over 13 minutes to go. You got in foul trouble, and Colorado heaved up a shot to try to win it at the end. So must avoid some of that tonight. And these teams are going to look a little bit different. Let's take a look at that. For Texas Tech, obviously Lajuan Watson's averaging 10 and 6 over the last 5 games. Need to get him going and be a bit more consistent for you. But Luke Mamboye, he's heavily now in the rotation. Did not play in that one. That will change the dynamic dramatically for the Red Raiders. And Isaiah Johnson in that first matchup, he gets to the free throw line 13 times, knocked down all 13, keep him off the free throw line. And Barrington Hargress, very, very good and tough point guard for the Buffs, John.
Tad Boyle on the Buffs bench, his 16th season there. He's the all-time winningest coach in Colorado basketball history, 14 and 10 overall. Grant McCasland for the Red Raiders in his 3rd season, 20-plus wins in each of the first 2 years. Best start for a coach after 2 seasons in Texas Tech basketball history. He is 41 and 6 overall at home. Tough to beat here. The Buffaloes have lost their last 4 Big 12 road games. They've got a monumental task tonight here in Lubbock against Texas Tech. It'll be J.T. Toppin and Benga Dak to tip it off here to get this one started. Doug Sermon will toss up the ball, and we are underway in Lubbock. That tip into the backcourt controlled by Colorado. Barrington Hargress starts that. Here's the Colorado starting 5, and that ball knocked away from Isaiah Johnson. Winds up in the hands of Jalen Petty. 3 on the way. Little bit short, comes down in the hands of the Buffaloes, and they like to run.
And we've got a frenetic pace early. The ball bouncing everywhere. Almost Isaiah Johnson almost ended up in our lap here. But yeah, not many games. You can just tell March is getting closer. And there's Hargress right there just on the pull-up. He's a guy that is really good in the mid-range, but he's shooting over 50% from behind the arc. That is big time.
Knocked down the first one. Here's the Red Raiders starting 5. Familiar faces: Anderson, Petty, Watts, Atwell, and Toppin. Red Raiders like to shoot the 3 as well, but Petty drives inside. Took Hargress right to the rack and scored.
You got the offense spread out right there, and Jalen Petty sees the lane. No rim protection in there for the Buffs. Easy bucket.
Here's Ron Sheik. Got it from Dak out front. Back to Hargress, who will set the Buffaloes up.
And those are 2 true freshmen guarding each other, and Johnson and Petty for the Red Raiders. And a month ago, you may have felt like, hey, maybe more of a freshman, but not at this point in the season.
Oh, Sanders trying to take that ball away from Jalen Petty. Did get it. And then inside, Dak is blocked by Watts. Man, there are guys on the floor all over the place here early going. Anderson trying to take it away from Isaiah Johnson. And finally, Jalen Petty reaching around him to grab the ball is going to have a foul called on him.
Yeah, this is a bit wild here. I mean, it's nobody can hold on to the ball, but it's we're playing a little volleyball, little wrestling on I believe there'll be some wrestling in this venue come Saturday night, Mr. Harris. So maybe
just getting started early.
It might be a squared circle and a ring right there on that double T come Saturday night here. These Red Raiders will be out of town in Tucson, Arizona.
Jalen Petty is out early. Tyree Bryan in for the Red Raiders. Ron Sheik trying to drive inside. Going to get called for traveling.
Yeah, just indecision right there, but drug his pivot foot.
Red Raiders inbound backcourt. Chris, your keys to the game.
Well, that was your biggest problem in Boulder for Texas Tech. Is you fouled too much. You had 4 players that finished with 4 fouls. You put the Buffs on the stripe 22 times. They knocked down 19 of them. The other one, I just mentioned that about Tucson. #1 team in the country entering this week. Can't look ahead. They just lost, talking about the Arizona Wildcats in Lawrence. So don't you know they'll be in a great mood come Monday or Saturday, and Donovan Atwell stays at it behind the arc.
Launched that one with 3 on the shot clock, and the Red Raiders are on top by 3. Atwell, one of the top 3-point shooters in college basketball. His 44% average from beyond the arc is 9th in the country. Christian Anderson got his hands on that ball, almost knocked it away from Hargris, who gets it back. 4 on the shot clock for the Buffs. They'll have to hurry. To Sanders on that skip pass, and he's fouled by Bryant.
Yeah, so they're Colorado's kind of playing a 5-out offense. Nobody in the paint at all reversed, and Tyree Bryant gets called for the whistle.
Sanders had 3 against the Red Raiders in that first matchup in Boulder. Ron Sheik off the mark on that 3-pointer, and here come the Red Raiders. Anderson sets up long range, in and out, no good. Toppin on the offensive glass. That's a big point of emphasis for Grant McCasland tonight as well.
Yeah, I think that's why Grant McCasland's okay with Christian Anderson pulling the trigger right there, because you've got an elite rebounder under the bucket. Yeah, guarding the arc for the Buffs. It's a big one. Texas Tech averages about 11 threes a game, and that's kind of what got them in that first matchup in Boulder. And then rebounding battle. You had 16 offensive rebounds. We just saw an example of that with JT Toppin, so you've got to limit that if you're Colorado tonight.
Christian Anderson probing, looked inside to JT Toppin, who shook him off and did not want the basketball at that point. Knocked away from Watts. Johnson out front. Anderson there defending. And Isaiah Johnson scores for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, just a good look at what Mr. Johnson can do in transition, and shoots about 6 free throws on average a game, which is top 20 free throw rate in the country. He's just elite in transition.
Double team on top, and there's Tyree Bryant. Atwell's left alone in front of that Buffalo bench. Little strong off the back iron. Grabbed by Bryant to Christian Anderson, and he knocks down another 3.
Yeah, he's got bodies falling down right in front of him, but buried the 3. You're going to see these guys mopping up the floor all night. It's like there's spots everywhere. We've had midcourt on each end of the floor. Goodness, I think there's a hockey rink under here melting the way guys are hitting the floor.
Jack threw it inside, tipped away by the Red Raiders and stolen. Texas Tech up by 6 early. There's Toppin inside. Got Dak out of the way, but Ron Sheik over to block the shot.
Outside defense. That's really good defense by Ron Sheik.
Johnson steps back, his 3 rims out. He had 21 against the Red Raiders in that game in Boulder earlier. Toppin's just going to go all the way and tried to get it over to Atwell, but he's called for traveling. A turnover by the Red Raiders.
Yeah, he got bumped, left his feet, and then threw it to the corner, but I think they're going to say he took an extra step.
Timeout here in the early going in Lubbock. Red Raiders on top of Colorado in this one, 10-4. Back here at the United Supermarkets Arena, early going. Red Raiders have a couple of three-pointers and are on top of the Buffaloes 10-4. 16th ranked Grant McCaslin's team trying to win against Colorado that sure gave them a fight first time out this season. Buffs do lead the all-time series between these two teams. Tech on top here at home, and Colorado hasn't won in Lubbock since way back in 2011. Tough fight.
Yeah, Chauncey Billups, David Harrison, Richard Roby. I remember some of those guys, because obviously there was this gap where they weren't in the league with you. But Tad Boyle is a really good coach. He coaches pros. They've sent several guys to the high end of the NBA draft, and just a really, really good coach. 16 years, and you just don't see that much. But he's kind of made made the Colorado job a pretty good one because they've been so consistent with what they've done. And
started the season 8-0.
That's right. That's right. And won 2 of their last 3. But we'll get into that, the way that they've constructed their roster. But he just really is a believer in their developmental process and really making players better. That's why they've got so many young players.
After that timeout, Taco Ifala into the ball game for the Buffs. Red Raiders have Luc Bombardier in. Red Raider fans haven't gotten to see a great deal of him. Missed most of the latter part of December.
Yeah, and again, I think that's the tricky thing is when you have somebody miss such a large portion of the season and they're a key part of what you think your team's going to be. You've got to acclimate them quickly, and it's difficult.
Isaiah Johnson fired that one right over the rim, but the ball winds up in the hands of Ron Sheik. Bryan, though, rebounding the miss by Ron Sheik. Alley-oop pass inside to Petty. Couldn't handle the ball, and here come the Buffaloes again after a Red Raider turnover.
Yeah, trying to hit a home run when maybe a single would have done. And there's Bomboye serving up dinner. But that's what he's in there to do. If he can play without fouling, but the rim protection is just big time. That's what he's in there to do. That's why Texas Tech brought him in here to try to help this team. And you put him next to JT, and you really have got a couple of shot blockers all of a sudden.
6'11", 220 sophomore is Bomboye out of London. His 18th block of the year. Here's Ron Sheik trying to drive on that right side. Ball got knocked out of bounds, but it will belong to the Buffs. Ron Sheik had 13 in the Buffalo's loss to Texas Tech in Boulder earlier. That was 73-71. Red Raiders had led by as many as 24 in the second half before the Buffaloes mounted a furious rally. Ron Sheik's got Toppin defending in the lane. That ball tipped by Toppin. Shot clock violation.
And you've got more players hitting the deck. And let's see here. Yeah, you're going to sweep up, mop it up. Getting their workout tonight, Mr. Harris.
Christian Anderson missed the Red Raiders game here against Kansas. Ill that night.
Bad timing.
Oh, man, was it ever for Red Raider fans.
Bad timing.
Healthy and ready to go tonight. Defended by Jalen Holland, who's in the game now for Colorado. Toppin's going to get double teamed. Somebody's open. Tyree Bryan's 3. Off the mark, no good. Toppin, though, with another offensive rebound. Jalen Petty got inside, laid it off for Toppin. He got hammered.
Well, they get you in scramble mode. It's such a group of guys that are willing passers, and they're going to find an open shot or leverage the defense in such a way. They'll get something, but Colorado did a good job right there scrambling around, but ends up in a foul and putting JT Toppin on the stripe.
Ifala got him. Toppin having an outstanding season from the field, has not been quite that effective at the free throw line, but knocks down the first of 2. Only a 54% shooter at the free throw line. Got them both.
And it's improved, as has the three-point shot in recent weeks. I think that's just some of that individual work and maybe some newfound confidence and starting to see the ball go in.
He'll sit down for a moment. Lawan Watts on for the Red Raiders, as is Alon McKelly. Of 8 on that Colorado roster. Here's Hargress, looks in the corner. Holland tries to get around Bomboye. The long arms of Luc Bomboye can't bat that one away. 2 more for the Buffs.
Yeah, showing some patience there on offense.
Christian Anderson defended out front by a 7-foot center. Tries to go around him, got inside, got him in the air, and Anderson scores.
That's why he's on about every award watch list there is. High IQ.
Comes in averaging 19-3 a ball game for the Red Raiders. And one of the top assist men in all of college basketball as well, at more than 7 a game. Hargress, shot clock is under 10. Haley trying to drive inside, spin, shot blocked by Watts. The Red Raiders off and running again. 12 minutes to play in the first half. Red Raiders by 8. Watts looking for a double team. Back up top, here's Bryan. The drive inside, lays it up, no good, tipped. Watts out front to Jalen Petty. Anderson going to try and set it down. Red Raiders got a new 20 on the shot clock. It's at 10 now. Anderson had Holland stepping away, ball slapped out of his hand.
Well, it's interesting watching Texas Tech try to operate, because typically when it slows down, that high pick and roll comes from JT Toppin. He's on the bench, so you've got some guys looking around trying to figure out what it is. But Red Raiders leading at 14-6 here early.
Time doesn't wait. It doesn't pause for tradition, or history, or even greatness. It keeps moving, and if we don't move with it, we get left behind. Texas Tech stands at the edge of something bigger. Every touchdown, every win has led to this. The future won't build itself. We build it.
We are creating an unusually amazing customer experience.
We don't push product. We want to understand how we can help.
Where UMB and the relationship officers do a fantastic job is getting to know the customer, build trust, and let them know they care.
I think everyone sells relationship banking, but we deliver it.
Reliant is the home of free electricity weekends, so your home can be the home of epic bedtime stories. The truly free weekends electricity plan gives you free electricity every weekend automatically from 8 p.m. Friday to 12 a.m. Monday. And when you have Reliant and Vivint, they're smarter together, giving you the power to manage your electricity and your smart home all in one place. Live happily ever after with the truly free weekends electricity plan from Reliant, proud partners of Texas Tech Athletics.
The Caroline lifestyle is anything but boring. Here I have the freedom to do what I want. I can walk my dog and not worry about my safety. I'm doing the line dancing. We take our day trips that Caroline furnish. I go to bed with a smile on my face and I wake up with a smile on my face. The staff here is excellent.
When it comes to the very best in retirement living, look no further than Caroline Senior Living. Come on, Sherry, we're going to be late for the big game.
They look at us and wonder, what's out there?
We are.
We've never been the type to stand to the side, letting world-changing ideas go untested. We push even beyond our own expectations. Here is seen across the country and heard around the world. We strive to be bold, to be impactful, and to challenge the status quo.
Because from here,
and here,
and even here, it's possible.
Back to play here at the United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock. Red Raiders to inbound underneath their own basket. Grant McCasland's team with just 7 seconds on the shot clock. Watts is going to start it. Toppin is back for the Red Raiders. Trying to work Jalen Petty into the corner. His three on the, trying to get that thing off, got partially blocked. Couldn't run it down in time. And a shot clock violation for the Red Raiders.
Everybody having a hard time holding on to the basketball tonight. The old pill is a bit slippery, as they say. But yeah, ill-timed to have that kind of slip out of your hands with not much time on the shot clock. And that's Texas Tech's 5th turnover already, John.
Which is rare for a Grant McCasland team. That ball almost tipped away and stolen by the Red Raiders. Dak got it in the lane, had it slapped out of his hands by Anderson. Here comes Petty inside. Back up top, Lawan Watts, and the Red Raiders will try and set up the offense. Donovan Atwell, 3 on the way is good. Donovan Atwell from up top has his 2nd 3 of the game. 6 for him, and the Red Raiders now 17-6.
Yeah, he is hotter than the face of the sun from behind the arc. I mean, that left hand is deadly. And he doesn't need a lot of time and space to get that shot off.
He's got 83 for the season now. Sanders inside. His shot blocked by Toppin. And Toppin's going to lead the break. Anderson wants it on the opposite side, but, well, he winds up with it eventually. But inside, Ifala fouls J.T. Toppin.
I think as a team, you see Texas Tech block on average about 4-ish shots a game. They've already got 5. 5 blocks
in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, we've seen everybody falling down. Lots of blocked shots, the turnovers.
Toppin's left-handed hook doesn't go. Dak brings it down. Ifala might have gotten poked in the eyes. Kind of struggling back up the floor. Sanders to Dak. He's got Watts defending. Into the corner. Ron Sheik now inside Ifala. Up top. Sanders. Dak. Everybody gets a chance. 2 on the shot clock. 3 by Dak is not good. And Toppin's got the defensive board.
Yeah, and Sanders out there, he's getting clean looks from 3, but that's just not what he does. He passed 2 of them up. He's more of a passer, just 2 of 20 from behind the arc.
Guy that was briefly coached by Grant McCasland on the USA's FIBA Under-19 team this past summer. McCasland says he's a guy who's just a team player. Does what it takes for the Bucks. Johnson drives inside. Floater, it's good.
Yeah, that's somebody Coach Boyle is just going to try to lean on and ride the rest of the regular season. Just such a talented freshman in a league flush with big-time young guys. And there's one that's just a true sophomore. It's kind of an older one, and Christian Anderson pouring one in from deep.
Christian's got 8. Ron Sheik rims out a shot. Here's Isaiah Johnson. 21 against the Red Raiders. Had 25 in his first ever college game against Northern Colorado. Raiders by 12. Here's Dak. Wants to go inside. Watts trying to keep him from the lane. Got it down low left-hand side. Shot rolls off. And the Red Raiders go the other way.
And keep in mind, Colorado averages over 80 a game, but just really struggling to put it in the hoop tonight. Just shooting 22%, but this is typically not a normal performance, but it has been for Christian Anderson.
Anderson's off to a great start. He's got 10, and Tad Boyle wants the timeout.
Well, John, you mentioned it. He didn't get to play in the last home game here when the Jayhawks were in town, so he's got some time to make up for it, but Christian Anderson hot early.
4 out of 5 from the floor, 2 of 3 on 3-pointers. Red Raiders up big. and Buffs got together back on January the 10th in Boulder. Chris, it was the Red Raiders for much of that ball game, particularly the first half before Colorado mounted that second half rally.
Well, yeah, you see Christian Anderson heave one up from nearly half court right before the half. And yeah, you're feeling really good. It's about 13 minutes and change. You're up 24. And then the wheels kind of fell off because you had 4 different players finish that game with 4 personal fouls. So the rotations got out of order, and Grant McCaslin trying to protect certain guys. And as he told us earlier today, hey, you know, our bench wasn't what it is now, what it was back then, because you had guys hurt. No Josiah Mosley, no Luc Mbah a Moute, nothing like that. But you survived it, and that's all that matters. But now you know why it's rare. Because the home team made a rally, but Colorado never quit. They kept battling and put you on your heels.
Boy, nice play there inside to get the ball to Dak, but Mbah a Moute over to swat that one, got his hand on it.
You're going to set a school record for block shots. You don't mess around, and yeah, that's block number 6 already.
How about that look with JT Toppin up top with the basketball. Atwell's 3 off the mark, but JT's inside, went up with an offensive rebound, and he's fouled. Toppin and Anderson in that game in Boulder combined for 31. Atwell had 17. Here's Mbah a Moute coming up unseen by Dak inside. It'll be Texas Tech's basketball underneath.
Yeah, they got him on both hands and both wrists.
Atwell already with a couple of threes. Toppin's three-point game has gotten better. Oh, that one pinballed around and wound up in the hands of Mbah a Moute.
He could have had another crack at it.
Tyree Bryan drives in, left side, shots a bit hard, but he got his own rebound and threw it off the Buff out of bounds. Underneath, that's Inman, who's in the game now for Colorado.
Yeah, JT Toppin, he's going to get 2 to 3 looks a game where he's not guarded out there and he's got enough time and space. If those go in, Texas Tech is very difficult to guard at that point. Same with Lawan Watts.
The Raiders got to shoot it in a hurry. Shot clock running down. Floater by Anderson, not there. But the Red Raiders are going to fight for that one before Ron Sheik got his hands on it. And then Toppin tied him up. Possession arrow, though, to Colorado.
And Christian Anderson may have should have decided to just pull it from the corner. Instead, he kind of shot fake and drove, but then you get sped up and left it short, trying to make sure you beat the shot clock.
Colorado's gone more than 2 minutes without scoring. Made just 1 of their last 7 shots. Ron Sheik inside. McKaylee back in, swings around. Yeah, Mbah a Moute with the shot off the mark.
Well, and you see Mbah a Moute right there. He alters it. It doesn't count as a block, but he's got McKaylee thinking about it.
Oh, Christian Anderson looked at Toppin, but the no-look pass inside to Mbah a Moute, who rams it home.
IQ. He just processes information so quickly like a quarterback.
Hargress, a mile-long three-pointer is no good. Battle for the ball underneath. This time it'll go to Texas Tech. Ron Sheik and Toppin tangled up with the ball. Red Raiders thinking it's might have been a timeout call under 8, but we're still going.
And Josiah Mosley's going to check in. Did not play in that last game versus West Virginia. Obviously, he was unavailable about a month ago, but the young man that can play the 3 or the 4, and you can spin him up to the 5 as well, but they're going to put him next to JT Toppin, and I bet let him play the 4-man. But this is not the start that Colorado wanted. You can't come into this building and get behind like you did in your own building and battle back. So Colorado needs to chip away at this lead here quickly.
Scoring drought for them approaching 3 minutes. Christian Anderson got double teamed out front, trying to throw a cross-court pass to Bryant. It was stolen away. Inman's 3 on the way is good. Wide open look after the turnover, and the freshman out of Houston knocks that one down.
Well, that's a good job by Coach Boyle. He kind of called that trap out of that last dead ball and threw a little hiccup at you, and you didn't handle it well. It equals a transition 3.
So this is what will happen if you do that. Donovan Atwell makes you pay.
and you got Colorado, Coach Boyle and his staff palms up going, hey, you can't leave him open. No, you can't.
10-2 Red Raider run. Atwell's got 3 threes already. Isaiah Johnson back on. Long three by Inman. He knocks down another.
Well, there you go. It's 2 quick threes off the bench for Inman, and now that could get the Buffs going a little bit.
Colorado 2 of 9 from outside the arc. Red Raiders 5 of 11.
And Inman only averages about 2 a game, John, and he's already got 6.
Tyree Bryant up top, rims out into the hands of Hargris, and here comes Colorado.
And this is where they're at their best.
Ron Sheik pulls up, 3-pointer not good. McKaylee gets it. Another 20 seconds for Colorado. Johnson, Hargris, Ron Sheik, McKaylee, and Inman. Johnson sees a lane, got tripped up inside. It's Mosley who'll get whistled, I think.
Yeah, there's a shot right there of Inman, man. Just because when Sanders was in there, he was no threat to shoot it from deep, but Inman comes in and knocked down a couple. You see Johnson going down right there, just got feet tangled up. They're going to get Mosley with his first personal foul.
Inman came into this ball game with just 7 made threes all season long, and he's got 2 here in the last few moments. Going to get him the ball again. Wanted to go back inside to McKaylee, had it stolen away by Texas Tech. Another Colorado turnover. They are second in the Big 12 in fewest turnovers per game. But they have struggled tonight, and Christian Anderson steps on the midcourt line. Turnover Red Raiders.
And this is what University of Houston did to a certain extent to Christian Anderson. When he would cross half court, he would start seeing bodies, and you got the trap, and you need to have that quick read out of the double team, understand where you're going to go with the ball. Because somebody's open, but easier said than done on trying to find that man when you've got 2 guys right on you.
What you're saying is he's got to read that blitz coming.
That's
Get
right.
it to his hot receiver.
But there's Isaiah Johnson, just, I mean, elite quickness, getting downhill. Not the biggest player, but this is a very talented youngster that I know Coach Boyle would love to hang on to. And that's going to be another turnover for the Red Raiders, and Christian Anderson just getting pestered when he
frustrated as he walks. 36 remaining in the first half. Red Raiders on top by 11. Red Raiders by 11 here late in the first half here at the United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock. This Colorado team, it is a very interesting roster for Tad Boyle, Chris. Highlight there at the bottom with 8 freshmen. There is not a true senior on the Buff squad.
Yeah, you've seen, rosters like that in previous eras, but in this era, going that young is largely unheard of. Because one, if they're really good, can you hold on to them? But it's just very difficult with that much youth in a league like this. But Isaiah Johnson is, obviously one of the best freshmen in the Big 12, which again is saying a mouthful because there's a lot of them.
Oh yeah, the Big 12 loaded. Inman also a freshman. He's got 9 now. Come off the bench and hit 3 3-pointers in the ball game.
He's starting himself some more playing time. He has single-handedly put the Buffs back into this game with 3 threes, John.
Now 3 of 11 are the Buffaloes in 3-point attempts. Anderson's going to get double teamed out front every time he touches the ball. Jalen Petty's on. Here's Donovan Atwell. Goes right back to Toppin, who never saw the pass, but he does get the ball. 2 on the shot clock. LaJuan Watts' shot is on the way. It's no good. He gets the offensive rebound, and the Red Raiders are going to get another chance. Jalen Petty from Anderson, and it's good. That's just hustle by LaJuan Watts to keep that ball and play alive.
Well, and a killer for Colorado because they actually have a really good defensive possession, and it hits up in a scramble 3-point shot by Jalen Petty.
Red Raiders extend their lead as they make good on their 6th 3 of the first half. That stolen away turnover Buffs, their 8th of the game. Toppin, floater, no good, shot it over the rim. Grabbed by Watts. Well, Donovan Atwell thought about it.
He sure did. And again, rare that he passes one of those up.
Christian Anderson to Jalen Petty in the court. It's Petty's 2nd 3 here in a moment.
Yeah, speaking of talented freshmen, in the corner, and it's a contested 3, and that vertical jump of his, that is the definition of a jump shot for sure.
Yeah. Here's Elijah Malone with the 3-point attempt. Rolls around and comes out of there. Their 6'11" center.
Yeah, Malone was a starter for this Buffalo team for the majority of the season, but they've since switched that up, and here comes the double team again.
Well, that is a dangerous thing to leave Donovan Atwell in the corner, even double teaming Christian Anderson out front, but that one off the mark. The Buffaloes have the ball as we approach 1.5 minutes to go in this first half. Hargress inside, back to Inman, wide open look, and it's good.
That's his
4th. He's got 4, yes. Boy, Grant McCaslin is not happy with his defense.
Well, when Inman has pulled the trigger and when Atwell has pulled the trigger, both coaches are going, what are we doing? But they get you in scramble mode and drive it, and then Inman has just been wide open. And I'd be willing to bet you that maybe he's a guy you don't spend a lot of time talking about before the game because he hadn't played a ton, John.
He's 4 for 4. The 12 points tonight is a career best for the true freshman out of College Park High School in Houston.
Yeah, he had 10 points versus Baylor recently, and he's just played in the 13 games. But yeah, he's been a sight for sore eyes for Tad Boyle tonight off the bench for sure.
Man, has not been that much of a contributor, but tonight he is absolutely red hot for the Buffs. He's the game's leading scorer. Anderson's got 10 for the Red Raiders, and Inman 12 for the Buffs.
12 of their 22.
Yeah. Oh, Anderson thought about it. Here's Atwell. Jalen Petty. Got around Johnson. Oh, good look for Donovan Atwell, and it's right through the bucket.
Yeah, it's a pick your poison when you've got Petty, Atwell, and Anderson around the perimeter. It is a problem.
That's the 4th 3 tonight for Donovan Atwell. Cayley trying to drive inside around top, and that doesn't go. Now the Red Raiders with 1 minute to go in the first half. Anderson's got Ron Cheek inside. LaJuan Watts got it up quickly, and it's in. McKaylee trying to get over and swat that one, but he couldn't get there quickly enough. And LaJuan Watts is on the board. Red Raiders by 16.
Yeah, there's 7 seconds difference on the shot clock.
Interestingly, they led by 16 in that game in Boulder at halftime. Isaiah Johnson. Here's Ron Cheek against JT Toppin on the baseline, and he turns it over. Didn't think that he did. Shakes his head walking away from Doug Sermon.
Yeah, that halftime score in Boulder, 43-27. You're not far off from that.
Not at all. Red Raiders have just under 11 seconds remaining in this first half, and LaJuan Watts is getting double teamed as the Red Raiders try and inbound the ball. But
no, they're gonna. Yeah, Doug Sermon's gonna call a hold on Sanders, saying that he's holding his jersey. He's showing him, hey, here's what you're doing.
There they are with the double team Inman and Sanders, and he is holding on to Watts' jersey. All right, this time Watts will try and inbound the ball. Anderson's the one getting double teamed. JT Toppin was there to help, but the Red Raiders do get it inbounded. And now Holland reaching around to foul Christian Anderson.
Well, yeah, you've got some fouls to give. That's just the third team foul on the Buffs. They can actually try to foul again. You just don't want to foul in a shooting motion.
Yeah, Anderson knew he was getting fouled and threw it up from midcourt, but did not get the chance to go to the line. Red Raiders are 2 of 2 at the free throw line. And there's another foul away from the ball.
Yeah, now Tad Boyle says, okay, now let's just play straight up. No more fouls.
2.2 seconds on the clock as the Red Raiders inbound. Got it to LaJuan Watts, top of the key, and he's fouled on a three-pointer by Sanders.
I just watched Tad Boyle. Okay, we're good. We've given the fouls. Now just straight up. And let's see here, Sanders. Yeah, boy, not a lot of contact there. Maybe got him on the way up, maybe.
Tad Boyle certainly unhappy with that call. It'll send Watts to the free throw line.
Yeah.
Watts, an 80% free throw shooter, has 3 chances here, and he missed the first. And the second.
You get a gift and you come up empty on the first 2.
Not sure that'll make him feel any better, though. Watts got the last.
Yeah, 1 of 3.
Red Raiders will lead by 17 at halftime. Buffs aren't going to heave one down the floor. And we've played 20 minutes here in Lubbock. Red Raiders on top 39-22. Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, head coach of the 16th ranked Lady Raiders, Krista Gerlich, will join us here at the United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock. Texas Tech on top of Colorado here at halftime.
No nights off in the Big 12. Every matchup is personal. Every game is a battle. And everyone is coming for your spot. Bring that pressure right to the paint. Game on the line. Clock winding down. Fans on their feet. 30 years strong, and now we shine so bright they can't help but watch. This is where every month feels like March. This is Big 12 men's basketball. This is a different league.
asked you, I said, can you wear these for me?
But why I have to wear those?
Because we're 3 stripes. We're Adidas, brother.
The mornings is always the fun times. It's when, you know, get the kids ready, get them ready for school. We're always hustling, bustling in the mornings, trying to get them ready to, you know, get dressed, brush their teeth, and eat breakfast. So this is his routine. We get our hot chocolate every morning, bring them to school, then we come to the prayer garden, which is, you know, usually he says a little prayer before he goes to school and get right into the day. So it's a great way to start the morning, very slow and, you know, something that he loves. So I can't take that away from him, and he really enjoys it. Coach McCaslin, we crossed paths when he was at Baylor at the time. I had a couple of teammates going there, and I got recruited a little bit. So we shook hands, and then the TBT happened at Texas Tech when a lot of alumni came back, and I got to really get to know him and sit in his office, talk basketball, and just pick his brain a little bit. So that's where we really started to connect. And then 4 years later, every day I used to work out at Texas Tech in the mornings. I usually go around 6 a.m. One day he was like, hey, come up to the office and let's just talk basketball. I mean, it was a great conversation, just getting to know me. And then he said, I have an opportunity for you. And I was ready to go back to Europe, honestly. Keep playing as long as I can, but then once the opportunity came up, man, there's something I just couldn't pass up. I retired, and I'm just glad to be here now. And it's funny how the world works and where God puts you. Off to the office, and can't wait to see the guys and work them out and things like that. So it'll be a good day, busy day, and getting ready to go all in.
Big dog.
There's no better feeling than preparing for a season, and you never know what will happen. All the preseason rankings, the preseason player of the years, you never know what's going to happen, but at the end of the day, like, we prepare, and we're getting ready every day in practice, and that's the fun part about it. We try to control what we can control, and everything else will fall into place. So we've done the dirty work, we've done everything we needed to, and it'll be a great season ahead for sure.
No nights off in the Big 12. Every matchup is personal. Every game is a battle. And everyone is coming for your spot. Bring that pressure right to the paint. Game on the line. Clock winding down. Fans on their feet. 30 years strong, and now we shine so bright they can't help but watch. This is where every month feels like March. This is Big 12 men's basketball. This is a different league.
Halftime here at the United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock. Texas Tech ranked 16th in the nation on top of visiting Colorado. 39-22. John Harris and Chris Level. And we're joined with Lady Raiders head coach Krista Gerlich, also ranked 16th in the country and just having an outstanding season.
Synergy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Synergy,
that's
for
right,
sure.
that's
Love
right.
it. Yes, absolutely love it.
Your 100th win last night.
Isn't that crazy?
Did that hit different, or did you even think about it?
I didn't really even know about it, right, until maybe like a couple of days ago, and somebody mentioned it. And I mean, it's awesome, and for me, it took a little while to get there. But I'm super proud of how hard we've worked to get the program back to, being a national contender for sure.
Yeah, and nationally ranked, and still with a shot at winning the league. I mean, how has this all kind of come together for you?
Yeah, well, obviously this summer and spring, we did, I think, a really good job of putting this roster together. I think we had some specific needs that we needed and to fill, and I thought we did a great job of not only finding the need, but finding the character of kids and the way they wanted to play and they wanted to win. And I think that was really huge in how we assembled the roster. So it's been a lot of fun, and these kids have bought in from day one.
It's an older team. You've got a few new staff members, but it's fun when a plan comes together.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. Yeah, we made some adjustments with our staff, and that's been really good for us. We've got some people that are really experts in their field. I mean, Adrian Walters is an incredible coach, lots of connections. He knows a lot of recruiting, people and things like that. And obviously Jada and Katera have done a fantastic job recruiting the high school level for us. And then Eric Giroux is somebody that had been on our staff, and we've really turned him loose in the international recruiting world, and he has just killed it. I mean, day in and day out. So it's really been nice to come together, and they're all really working well together.
Now you're on the road this weekend at Oklahoma State. Some Lady Raider fans can get on a bus to make a trip to Stillwater for that one, and then next week back home for what really is at this point looking like your biggest game of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the Oklahoma State game will be an incredibly difficult game for us playing there. It's actually the second half of a doubleheader. They're doing a buy one, stay for two kind of thing, and so they're going to have a big crowd. So I love that we're not just taking one bus, but two buses.
Okay.
And registration is still open. We still have a little bit of space on the second bus, so we certainly want people to fill in. And then, when we get back next Wednesday, we host Baylor, one of our two remaining home games. We need a huge crowd to come and help us because it could have really big, concert, or it could be a really big stage that we're playing on, and for a lot of money here.
And that bus activity worked when you went to Waco.
It did. Well, and that's why we wanted to do it again. The people that rode that bus said, could you please do this again? And they were like, which one can we drive to? And they had it marked before they got off the bus that they wanted to come. So I love that.
Nothing better than the Texas Tech fan base.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Best of luck, and Stillwater, and then back here against Baylor.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a fun ride, and we're not done yet, and we need all of Lady Raider Nation, Red Raider Nation to show up and help us out.
All right, keep going.
All right.
Thank you, Krista. Krista Gerlich of Texas Tech's Lady Raiders ranked 16th in the nation. Can Grant McCaslin's 16th ranked Raiders finish off Colorado in the second half? We'll find out. A 17-point lead here at the break. The true strength of West Texas is in its people, where oil fields meet the heart of our community. Texas Tech Athletics is proud to partner with an industry that drives our region forward. From classrooms to stadiums, we're ensuring our community thrives. Together, we're creating pathways to success. Texas Tech and oil and gas, powering progress together.
This is Holden at 10. No budget, no spending alerts, no shot. And this is Future Holden. When Holden was 10, Mom signed him up for Lubbock National Student Visa debit card. That first account helped him learn about money early, smart spending, budgeting, and a cash bonus for good grades.
So, what do we use our cash rewards for?
We took Bella to prom.
It's not too late to get your own student card.
Alliance Checking has your back and your future. With a streamlined, hassle-free checking experience, you get the freedom to manage your money your way. Enjoy our best rate on deposits, plus stock rewards that stack up, turning everyday spending into real growth. Every purchase, every swipe, every transaction works harder for you. From coffee runs to big ticket buys, spending money has never paid off like this. Alliance Credit Union, for people, not profit.
They look at us and wonder, what's out there?
We are.
We've never been the type to stand to the side, letting world-changing ideas go untested. We push even beyond our own expectations. Here is seen across the country and heard around the world. We strive to be bold, to be impactful, and to challenge the status quo.
Because from here,
and here,
and even here, it's possible.
Back in Lubbock, getting ready for the second half of this Big 12 battle as the Red Raiders and Buffaloes of Colorado have 20 more minutes to go. Chris, not hard to figure out why the Red Raiders have had a lot of success not only a year ago, but this season as well. Look at the Wooden Award late mid-season list. You've got one team on that list of players that's got two guys, and that's Texas Tech.
Yeah, it's the best duo in college basketball, Christian and Anderson and JT Toppin. And what is fascinating as you look at this list, you have played 7, I think, of these players. You will end up playing 3 or 4 more remaining on your schedule. And then there's 2 or 3 of them that you played last year. So it speaks to the non-conference schedule, but you want to know why Texas Tech's schedule was so tough? Look at the names on the list. This is a lot of NBA draft picks that you will see. But yeah, you'll see Jaden Bradley on Saturday, but you've already seen Boozer, you've already seen Debansa and Flemings. You'll see Haggerty. You'll see Josh Jefferson. You've already played Darren Peterson. You've seen Braden Smith. You saw Sturts last year. You saw Wagler earlier this year. I mean, fascinating, but yeah, you've got the best duo in college basketball. That speaks to the company that they keep on that list right there.
Yeah, and you can tell that why the Big 12 is considered college basketball's best conference.
Well, just look at the names, these freshmen that we've talked about, and the many names that we just discussed. And a lot of them are guards or scoring forwards that really can impact the game. And that's why some of those teams that they play for can have a chance to win the whole thing.
Colorado has the ball to start this second half. They got it in the hands of Inman on the far side, but Red Raiders right there to not let him fire up a three-pointer. 8 on the shot clock. Hargress. Here's Dak back up top to Hargress. Had just 2 in the first half. 3 on the way is short. It's an air ball.
Yeah, and as things settle in, because clearly Coach McCaslin's team has gone to the locker room and said, hey, remember that kid that unofficially visited us back in June of 2024 named Ian Inman? He's making a lot of threes. No more. Red light. And so, you know, somebody like Hargress is going to have to really step up here in the second half.
LaJuan Watts backdoor. Jalen Petty can't get the shot off because of Dak, but guess who can? Donovan Atwell. Atwell's got 15 in the ball game, all from outside the arc. And Sheik wanted to take a shot, doesn't, gives it to Dak. He's inside against JT Toppin. Shot not there. Toppin's got 12 rebounds in the game now.
Yeah, he hasn't scored much, just 1 of 5 from the field, but he is certainly doing work on the glass.
Just one game this season where Toppin was not in double figures scoring or rebounding. And he's got 12 boards tonight. Here's LaJuan Watts going to back down Ron Sheik. Hook shot not there. Toppin on the offensive glass. And 2 more for the Red Raiders.
Not a lot of teams can match up with that low post duo. Now you will see one on Saturday if you're the Red Raiders that absolutely can. But there's just not many teams that can deal with that low post threat when you've got 2 of them.
Yeah, Arizona's going to be ranked #1 for that ball game, but will they be #1 next week?
I think they should be. I really do. I think with what they did in the non-conference, they beat UConn. They've got to win over Florida. They've rolled through the early portion, and we're going to fault them for losing at Kansas on a big Monday when Bill Self has never lost. I don't care if Peterson played or not. I don't know if I would punish the old Wildcats too much.
If they do drop, it shouldn't be far.
Yeah, not at all.
Jalen Petty trying to probe against Inman. Bamboye in the ball game for the Red Raiders. Christian Anderson in the corner. 3 is good. Christian Anderson's got 13 in the ball game.
Well, you're approaching that 24-point lead territory here. There's much more time in the game than there was in the first matchup, but you're up 23 now. No, 25. Math.
I'm just going to guess that Red Raiders aren't going to allow that kind of rally on their home court.
Not in this building.
10th turnover of the game by Colorado. That is above their average. And JT Toppin brings the ball across the midcourt stripe. This is a roll reverse as he goes down inside to Anderson. Anderson's shot got blocked, and Johnson's going to try and go coast to coast. Bamboye and Toppin both there, and the foul is going to be on Luke Bamboye, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of basketball there, but again, Isaiah Johnson, he plays at different speeds, and he can kind of get up underneath you, but whether justified or not, he finds a way to get to the free throw line a lot every game, and one of the best players in the country at it. We touched on that top 20 free throw rate in the country, and he usually does that when he gets there.
Coming into this ball game, he had been to the free throw line and attempted 150 free throws. He's an 82% shooter. Buffs were 19 of 23 against Texas Tech in Boulder in that game 1. Tonight they have attempted 2. Johnson got one of those 2. Here's JT Toppin. Look out, left it from Bamboye, and he's fouled underneath.
That's the one thing. Okay, so Luke Bamboye is working his way back in. There's a couple of things. He has protected the rim at times. He's got to be more physical when he gets the ball. Okay, be more assertive. He's kind of got a weird angle right there, but he's got to understand that people are coming after him, and you've got to be more assertive. Look to dunk that ball, not lay it up. And the other thing we've touched on is just kind of, he's got to get those hands up and not foul. He gets those brought down, and you get into the ball, and you get real handsy, and you can't really hide those long arms and big hands of his. So
everybody involved in that play underneath was 6'11", and Ifala stepped into the lane before Bamboye got the shot off. So even though he missed, he'll get another opportunity. Doug Sermons, Bert Smith, and Tony Padilla are the officials tonight. Bamboye, he's been pretty decent at the free throw line when he's played this year, and that extra opportunity, he gets it to go. Texas Tech by 25. Johnson against Petty, but had to pick it up at the elbow to Inman, much closer, but the shot not there. Winds up in the hands of Anderson, quickly to Donovan Atwell. Now Anderson will take the 3. Rolls around and comes off. Buffs waste no time in transition, but Inman's pinned up on the right side. Texas Tech got it away. Atwell saved it back in bounds.
Slick play by Donovan Atwell.
Boy, Jalen Petty doesn't need much time to get a shot off. Bamboye, the rebound, misses the dunk.
And I mentioned that, try to dunk it, but he kind of, see what happens here. He gets up underneath the basket. There's the save. Great save right there. Very fortuitous right there to Christian Anderson. Yeah, and I think he just didn't realize how much far up under the rim he was, but he gets bumped and gets knocked offline. But that's what I'm talking about. Be more aggressive and attack the rim if you're Luke Bamboye. And Grant McCaslin over there wanting to reward that behavior.
Trying to stir up some emotion in the crowd. Trying to get them on their feet and a bit fired up here in the second half. Chris, the Red Raiders don't have that many home.
No, just 3 more. You've got, yeah, that's right. Kansas State and Cincy. That's it.
Red Raider fans are on their feet now. Johnson lost it on a backcourt violation, and Grant McCasland is pumped up about that. That's turnover number 12 by Colorado, and we've got a timeout.
Yeah, and Colorado's missed some shots tonight, John, but these guys are averaging over 80 a game, and you held them to 23 with 16 left.
Sixteenth ranked Texas Tech in command at the moment here in Lubbock. 50-23 for Grant McCasland's Red Raiders. And it's not a surprise, Chris. Donovan Atwell and Christian Anderson, long range outside the arc. They can fill it up.
Yeah, and this is the part that shouldn't surprise anybody, that they can shoot it and they're being productive. I'm going to brag on Donovan Atwell a little bit for something that's not on the screen. He's been guarding Barrington Hargress tonight. How many points and how efficient has Barrington Hargress been tonight? He's got 2 points. So keep in mind, it's the epitome of 3-and-D. He fills it up on one end, and he will lock down one of your best offensive players on the other. And you can't ask for more than that as a fit out of the portal. And well, Donovan Atwell has just been a dream for Grant McCasland this season.
Yeah, Hargress averages 14 a ball game. Jalen Petty's long three is not good, and it's tipped out of bounds. But Petty doesn't think it was off a Red Raider.
Well, and Jalen Petty says, I didn't touch that. It may look like it kind of came off, and so.
Missed that three. The ball got tipped back and right past him near the Red Raider fans who sit courtside.
Yeah, so here's a look at it. The ball's going to come flying right back at Jalen Petty. It's touched by the ball. Yeah, well, you can't quite tell, but the way it hits off of Isaiah Johnson. Here's another angle. Great camera work by our folks here. Okay, there it is off Isaiah Johnson.
No, he did not touch it.
Petty never touched it. That should be Texas Tech's ball, so we'll talk about that when we resume.
Yeah, Doug Sermons and the crew will take a look at it during the timeout. Red Raiders hoping it's their basketball when we come back. Well, back here in Lubbock, Doug Sermons has just made the call. It'll be Texas Tech basketball. Jalen Petty did not get his hands on this ball as it came flying by, Chris.
Yeah, so it's Texas Tech ball. You get 20 on the shot clock. Then you keep your challenge, or your extra challenge, I should say. You're not charged a timeout. So, yeah, all thumbs up there.
Red Raiders among the nation's leader in three-point attempts and makes. They average 11.5 a ball game made, and they've got 10 with 15:28 to play. Here's Toppin going to get double teamed back out front. Jalen Petty. Atwell's got 5 threes tonight. Bamboye's got a shorter defender in Sanders, but his shot was no good. And then saved by Atwell off the Buffalo.
Yeah, and you got a little look at some back to the basket moves from Luke Bamboye. We have not seen a whole lot of that, but yeah, that's just Donovan Atwell hustling. That's the second time in the last 5 minutes or so that he's diving out of bounds on the other end of the floor, saving one, and he keeps saving it to the right guy, and in this case, off of the right guy.
Knocked it off of Inman over there, and now Christian Anderson lost it. Isaiah Johnson's got Jalen Petty in front of him, and Bamboye following, and a foul call, and Johnson scores.
Yeah, Jalen Petty just went straight up with his hands up. Isaiah Johnson, I'm telling you, he just got a way to get into you and kind of initiate contact and draw fouls. It is impressive.
He's got 9 in the ball game. This will be his first trip to the free throw line. It's Colorado tonight, just 1 of 2. Finishes the three-point play. Becomes the second Buffalo in double figures. Inman's got 12. Johnson's got 10 now. Colorado has got a long way to get back in this one. Jalen Petty just can't find the range from the corner. Here's Johnson just flying down the court, right inside, laid it in good.
And that's where he's at his best. I mean, just has that extra gear. Yeah, and Grant McCaslin really talking to Jalen Petty. Hey, don't forget about transition defense. But you got to get JT Toppin some touches in the low post. Here comes one right here. A kick ball. Toppin's only got 6 points. He's just 2 of 6. He just hasn't really been that involved in the offense. Colorado's done a good job of kind of getting the ball out of his hands, sending a double every time. And that's what's equaled 10 3-point makes, but I would make sure that JT Toppin gets a touch every time down in the low post or involved in that pick and roll on the short roll.
He does have 14 rebounds.
He's certainly done his part. He just hasn't been involved on the offensive end there as much, but I think some of that's by design. You kind of pick your poison on what kind of shots you want. So there's scramble right there. You get the double team.
Boy, Holland trying to reach in and tie the ball up with Anderson. Possession arrow to Texas Tech.
So that's their way of defending that pick and roll. They're just saying, we're just going to trap it and say you don't get to run it. Find something else. And Grant McCaslin has really leaned into this, big lineup with Luke Bamboye and JT Toppin. Lawan Watt's going to be at the table.
Boy, Toppin got it at the top of the key, drives inside, and the spin move left-hander goes.
Yeah, a matter of time before he was going to score something.
He's got 8 in the ball game now. There's Holland inside. Toppin couldn't swat it away. Holland's second bucket tonight. He's got 4. But the Red Raiders have a commanding lead. Holland's going to pick up a foul, I believe, for not letting Christian Anderson go where he wanted to go. Here's that Toppin play a moment ago. Got Ifala going one direction, spun around him and laid it off the glass and in.
Because as we know, JT Toppin, he's I think 6'7", 6'8", maybe listed as 6'9", but what makes him so special and difficult to guard are those long arms. You watch it on that replay, he gets that ball so far out, and then he's got just such great touch that it's just hard to block. And he's really good with those angles, especially when that ball's in his left hand.
Here's LaJuan Watts. Now Anderson going to get double teamed. Back to Watts. Watts going to try to take Sanders down inside on the low block. Here comes a double team to J.T. Toppin. There's that left-handed shot. Little strong off the back iron, and Hargress runs for Colorado. Drove it right inside. Backed up Anderson, who gets called for the foul.
And this is exactly what got Colorado back into the game in that first matchup. Too many misses for the Red Raiders, and then just getting downhill in transition and getting points on the scoreboard without the clock running at the free throw line.
Hargress had 17 in that game in Boulder. That is point number 3 for him tonight with 13:21 remaining. Little gamesmanship at the free throw line. Sanders and LaJuan Watts wanting to switch spots, and finally winds up with J.T. Toppin low on the opposite side with Ifala. Red Raiders by 20.
Yeah, and you had, so you mentioned the gamesmanship. You had J.T. Toppin and you had, Ifala talking a lot. Okay, that continues up the floor. I think Doug Sermons was well aware of it, and Ifala was right in Toppin's face and said something, and I think Sermons watched it, and he teed him up.
Get a little bit of an idea of what was going on there.
And you see Ifala kind of slap his hand away.
Yeah.
They're just kind of jawing at each other, but it started back in the gamesmanship at the free throw line when they're kind of switching places. Getting a little feisty on a Wednesday night. Everybody's supposed to be either in the arena or at church, and here we are smack talking each other, right?
Smackdown.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we didn't mention.
You said wrestling's coming to town?
That's right. I think right here in this building this weekend.
Donovan Atwell now with 17 as he scores from someplace other than the three-point line. Donovan Atwell wants to give the ball to someone, but can't find the guy until LaJuan Watts finally gets open. Watts inside over Malone, who's in the ball game now, and that ball bounces around and comes out. Here comes Sanders in a hurry to Hargress inside, off the glass and good.
Yeah, so Grant McCaslin has basically switched up. Yeah, that's what they've done is they said, okay, LaJuan Watts will initiate the offense, and they're trapping Christian Anderson on the ball screens, but it's kind of taking Texas Tech out of the rhythm a little bit.
Red Raiders saw a lot of zone from Colorado the first time.
That is just beautiful basketball to watch. Right off the short roll, just the little pocket pass right there, and Watts finishes right off the glass. But that is just Christian Anderson just orchestrating it beautifully.
Another assist for Anderson, who's got 6. Hargress' three-pointer rims out. Here come the Red Raiders. LaJuan Watts running the floor. Got inside, goes back up top. Jalen Petty. Man, just a tough night for Petty. He's got 8 in the ball game, but struggling outside. Inman got Anderson caught flat-footed, but inside Toppin's in the way. Anderson wants Atwell out of the way. He wants Toppin on the block left-hand side, but defended there. LaJuan Watts wide open 3. Not good, but run down by Watts. And that's Inman trying to defend J.T. Toppin. That doesn't work out so well.
Yeah, size mismatch down low.
But J.T.'s got 10 to go with 15 rebounds now. Another double-double, his 15th of the year.
He's going to get himself a double-double one way or the other. That's just how good he is. Sometimes they're ho-hum, sometimes they're loud, but that's what's happening.
Johnson wanted to pass that ball over to Elijah Malone, but gets fouled on the pass attempt. We've got a timeout here. 11:03 remaining. Red Raiders have stretched that lead. 58-34 behind 17 from Donovan Atwell. Grant McCaslin's Red Raiders are headed to Arizona this weekend. But if you're a Lady Raider fan, you can hop on their fan bus. They've got 2 of them. The Lady Raiders travel to Stillwater to take on the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Fan bus tickets are still available for $119. Tip-off is at 2:30 in Stillwater. For more information on that game and the fan bus, go to texastech.com.
Yeah, John, and Texas Tech with just 1 turnover here in the second half. They went to the locker room at the half with 8. They've just got 9 total, so they kind of clean that up. But you just look at we mentioned that as one of the keys for Colorado is hanging on the glass and just kind of being in that rebounding battle. And right now, just not happening. A minus 14 for the Buffs on the glass, and that's just one of those things where. And you've had Inman kind of cool off a bit. He had those 4 first-half threes. Hasn't done anything offensively in the second half. But Isaiah Johnson starting to heat up a little bit.
Well, Inman got the Red Raiders' attention in that first half. Now Isaiah Johnson, the freshman out of Los Angeles, at the free throw line. He's played 24 career games prior to tonight. Tonight, number 25. He's been in double figures in 23 of those games.
Talk about how good of a free throw shooter he is, and he's missed 2 tonight.
He's probably going to get a few more chances in this one. Shot clock's at 11 for the Red Raiders. Here's Lawan Watts against Sanders. Tyree Bryant is in the ball game now for the Red Raiders. Fadeaway.
Tough shot.
In the short corner, and it goes.
Yeah, tough shot.
Red Raiders by 25. First bucket of the night for Tyree Bryant, senior out of Orlando, Florida. Hargress trying to find an opening, does get around Donovan Atwell, but inside can't finish. The Red Raiders come the other direction. Christian Anderson still getting double teamed, but now one-on-one against Isaiah Johnson. Back up top, Donovan Atwell, 5 of 8 on threes tonight.
Yeah, he got the ball. He got the ball caught on his leg. He was trying to go through his legs. But Christian Anderson, it's like one of these veteran quarterbacks. He has seen about everything possible from opposing defenses. They guard him in a variety of different ways, making him try to go where they want him to go, or taking the ball out of his hands, face guarding him. He's seen everything. And again, it takes him a bit, but he'll start processing that information, and then he's just, you know, really good with it. Hence the one turnover by the team in the second half.
Anderson's got 13 tonight. 3 rebounds and 6 assists. Red Raiders by 25. Here's Isaiah Johnson, defended by Jalen Petty. Oh, and he stole the pass.
Look what I found.
Yeah. Jalen Petty going to set it up top, and now JT Toppin at point guard. Send a big man over to double team Anderson. Now Petty's got an advantage against Sanders. Well, Christian Anderson was waiting up top. Now Jalen Petty going to get another chance. Still can't get that shot to go from the corner.
And all you can ask for is a good look, and you got it there. It just didn't go in, but showing a lot of patience.
Hargress 3 is good.
And there's Hargress. Yeah, it's just a matter of time for him. Averages about 14 a game, I believe, coming in, and just been off a bit tonight. But yeah, Grant McCaslin, I think, a bit frustrated with his true freshman.
That's the first 3 that goes tonight for Hargress, who's got 9 in the ball game, but the Red Raiders in command at 60-38. College Game Day traveling to Tucson, Arizona on Saturday, February 14th for another Big 12 top 25 battle. It's #1 Arizona against these 16th ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders. Tip-off scheduled for 5:30 Central Time on ESPN.
Yeah, John, and the Big 12 obviously been featured in a lot of those ESPN College Game Days, and obviously there was one here. It was a bit cold outside at the time that they were here. How about the announcement today from Brett Yormark in the Big 12 Conference? Going to play the Big 12 tournament, men's and women's. We should have asked Coach Gerlich about it at halftime. Going to play it on a glass court, basically a giant TV with all kinds of graphics and bells and whistles. Again, the motto of this league, you know, we are a different league. I think Brett Yormark has leaned into that and trying to, you know, kind of create some news. But I'm kind of fascinated to see what that thing looks like in Kansas City. They all say that the traction on it and the footing on it is really good, and yeah, it's a nice finish right there, fading away with the left hand by Luke Bomboye. And it may not be long before some of these colleges in years to come end up with those floors that you can create some revenue off of. I don't know. Just asking aloud.
Do a lot of different things for sure.
Well, we were told before the game, Texas Tech has actually looked at that, and it was a big cost prohibitive. But I mean, down the line, you just never know. Maybe the way things are going.
Coach can have them put some X's on the floor and say, this is where you need to set up. Well, this is where you're going.
But it's interactive. You could put shot charts on there. You could do a variety of different things. And we were talking about you could switch the half-court logo that's on the court every game if you had one of those.
3 on the way from Ron Sheik, not there, but rebounded by the Buffs. A lot of traffic inside. Holland couldn't get a shot to go, and now it's out of bounds off a Red Raider underneath the Buffs basket. All right, under 8 timeout coming up here in Lubbock. Red Raiders on top of the visiting Buffaloes, 62-38. Back here at the United Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock, what do college students do when the game gets just a little bit out of hand for the home team, Chris?
You create a balloon snake. I think the goal may be to try to get it all the way around the arena. I don't know if there's enough balloons to make that happen, but yeah, man, you gotta love the creativity, and if the basketball is not entertaining enough, you just got to do something to entertain yourself. Here's a look at that at the remaining, or the next 5 for Texas Tech. The Red Raiders are basically going to be on a 5-day trip to Arizona, Saturday, Tuesday, and then you get your last Saturday home game against Kansas State after that, and then Cincy, and then Iowa State. So you've got a couple of tricky road trips coming up against 2 of the best teams in the country. And there's also still a road trip against those BYU Cougars in Provo on the last Saturday of the regular season, John.
Regular season is winding down. Toppin slapped that ball away from Ron Sheik, and now everybody's back on the floor again. It'll be Colorado basketball. Colorado in that ball game in Boulder, where they rallied from 24 down and wound up losing to the Red Raiders 73-71, scored 44 points in the second half of the game, Chris. They've got 38 tonight with less than 8 minutes to play.
And the Red Raiders have held them to just 32% shooting percentage from the field. I mean, that's, I think, again, most people may just assume Colorado doesn't score a lot of points. That just could be further from the truth. Not this season, but a lot of it is because of what you've seen. I think that's the 8th or 9th block for the Red Raiders tonight, mostly due to JT Toppin and Luc Mbah a Moute. And oh, by the way, JT Toppin can do that too. Wooden Award watch list fully on display.
13 for JT tonight offensively. He's got 17 rebounds. It's his 46th career double-double. Ron Sheik 3 on the way. Good for Colorado. They have struggled there. 6 of 20 in the ball game. Been a while since they've knocked down one from outside the arc.
Yeah, after Inman hit those first 4, they've been kind of cold. Hargress had knocked one out here in the second half, but
Red Raiders have made 4 of their last 5 field goal attempts. Well, back to JT Toppin. Look out inside Hargress. He's not going to stop that. Toppin scores again.
You just can't stop that pick and roll off to the side of the short roll. If nobody's going to rotate over, I mean, and then poor Barrington Hargress, man, he just.
Well, Ifala stayed outside to cut off Atwell, and there's no one defending JT Toppin.
Yeah, that's right.
Hargress will check out as Toppin goes to the free throw line, and Ian Inman back on. Hit those 4 threes in the first half. A career best 12, but he has not scored since. Toppin rattles it in good. He's 3 for 3 tonight at the free throw line.
And I mean, he's got a little 3-point activity as well. So those were percentages that I know everybody was uncomfortable with at the beginning of the season because of the volume, especially of free throws that he got. But he's improved.
He's got 1 assist too. Oh, got Tyree Bryan going one direction, but Bamboye over to block that shot. Now Inman's got to look from the top of the key, but not going to knock it down. And Tyree Bryan rebounded the ball, then lost it out of bounds. Stick 'em.
Is that still in existence? Now everybody's got those gloves. You can't use those in this sport, but all right, Josiah Mosley going to come in. Okay, so here's an example of you really getting about as big as you possibly could be. I mean, you could have Lawan Watson here, but I think Mosley, Bamboye, and Toppin all in there together. And this is a lineup. Could you see that on Saturday? You may need it as big and good as Arizona is.
Josiah Mosley is 6'8", about 230. Hasn't played a great deal this season because of a lower body injury, but healthy now and in that lineup. Not going to let Holland drive inside easily, and gets knocked down, attempting the layup. It'll be Mosley who's guilty of the foul. That's on a rebound attempt. Buffs will inbound underneath their own bucket. Under 6 to go. Red Raiders 68-41. Holland 3-pointer off the mark. Toppin his 18th rebound. You get 18 rebounds, Chris, you can play point guard.
Yeah. Death taxes and JT Toppin doing the double-double. That is a sure thing these days.
Anderson trying to set up the offense. 4 on the shot clock. Trying to spin move up top. Atwell, long 3 deflected by Ron Sheik. Red Raiders shot clock violation.
And Grant McCaslin is still coaching.
Yeah, that doesn't change.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Ron Sheik against Bamboye up top outside that 3-point line to Holland. Now Johnson, he can get the shot off in a hurry. Hit the front iron. Mosley corrals that missed shot. The Red Raiders back on offense as we have gone under 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, so these next several weeks, obviously you're still in the midst of the conference race. You're 2 games back of Arizona and Houston. Yeah, Donovan Atwell again. Hold it up, young man. Earthquake. But the next couple of weeks, it's really about Bamboye and Mosley. And incorporating them back in, making sure that they can give you quality minutes and that they're well, working within what you want from a chemistry standpoint and timing and everything. Because I think they can take you. Yeah, JT Toppin going to come out. So, but incorporating those guys back into your rotation is just going to be massive for Grant McCasland, because now he can substitute offense for defense. He's protected for foul trouble. All advantages that he did not have earlier on in the season and earlier on in the conference season, to be specific.
Well, Toppin's out of the ball game with 16 points and 18 rebounds. Seems like he deserves a break.
You get 18 rebounds, you can play point guard, and then we'll give you a break. Okay, how's that sound?
Well, you sit down and rest for a few minutes.
That is a career high in rebounds for JT Toppin.
That's an impressive night for sure. The timeout now as we go under 4 minutes here in Lubbock. Red Raiders in command of this one. 71-41 over Colorado. Big 12's Player of the Year and Newcomer of the Year last season. The preseason Player of the Year for this campaign, Chris. And watch this and you'll get an idea why.
Well, just the footwork, and if the ball gets to that left hand, you're in trouble. There you see him drop the hammer with the two hands, and then really showing off here with the three from the corner. He really has worked on that. But the 18 rebounds ties a career high. And I don't know if he will be in a position to win Big 12 Player of the Year again. Maybe because he won it last year, that's the way it's supposed to work. But because some of the freshmen are so dynamic in this league with Darren Peterson and Kingston Flemings and A.J. Devonsa. But also maybe because he's got a teammate that has been really good too. Maybe taking some of the votes away, right? If the folks in Texas Tech world will remember Michael Crabtree and Graham Harrell as Heisman Trophy candidates, and they kind of cannibalized each other, and you had to pick one. But yeah, JT Toppin has been exceptional in his junior season.
Yeah, and Toppin and Christian Anderson both on that award watch list, the Wooten Award list. And Chris, I think the balloon snake has made it completely around the arena. That is, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, you've got a Tech defense tonight that is very likely going to hold Colorado to their fewest points in a game all season long. And Tech students have a balloon wrapped completely around the arena.
Yeah, we are surrounded by a balloon. That's right. They've got us trapped. It is all the way around, a full 360.
Red Raiders are going to sit the regulars. Jazz Henderson's off the bench. Leon Horner is off the bench. Nolan Groves is in the ball game along with Bamboye and Jalen Petty with 3:36 remaining here in this one tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned sit the regulars. Jalen Petty, obviously Luke Bamboye in it. Yeah, okay, they've connected the balloon so the cheers go up, and Jalen Petty rewards everybody with a made three.
Well, and that cheer started before Petty got the ball, so either they knew something or it's got to be some kind of Guinness record wrapping a balloon around an arena.
Are you saying a first?
I think it's got to be a first.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Is the Guinness Book of World Records still a thing? Can you?
I believe it is.
I remember as a youngster, and they had the book sale, right? And you would go to the little book sale, and you had a little money for mom and dad, and you'd go, and that was the first thing you'd go, I'm going to go buy the latest, Guinness Book of World Records, and I would have believed anything in there. Don't know if any of it was true or not, but I guess that's still a thing.
Sanders can't stop a 9-0 run at the free throw line.
And Nolan Groves pulls down a rebound. The first game we did all year against Lindenwood, that young man pulled down 16 boards, speaking of career high on the glass.
Somebody forgot to tell him he wasn't JT Toppin that night.
That's right.
Jazz Henderson got inside to go back up top to Jalen Petty. 5 on that shot clock, and it's running down. Jazz Henderson going to have to let one fly, and he does near the free throw line. Back iron, no good. Caceres rebounding for the Buffs.
Yeah, had a big three to Jazz Henderson against the University of Kansas here in that last game on a Monday night.
Inman with the ball had that big first half inside McKelly. Low block right-hand side. Shot not there, and Nolan Groves another rebound. Petty looking for a way inside, left-handed like Toppin. He gets it to go.
He's just out here hooping, and you're now in the midst of a 16-3 run, John.
The Raiders is not letting up. Mosley going to try and check back in if there's an opportunity. Guy that needs some playing time for sure.
Yeah, you could put Mosley at the 5 and give him a few minutes of looking at that. Grant McCaslin talked about that the other day, trying to incorporate these new guys back in. He's like, I don't want to put them in and play them in positions they haven't had time to practice at. We're trying to get them used to a position, maybe a second, but then here comes Jack Francis. And the boys in the back, I know it's coming up on our screen here, John. The boys in the back about to put it up there. I would count it down. Hopefully they're listening back there. But my man Hunter back there, I know he's got the button to push it. But there's, I think you're at, what is it, 25-1? When Jack Francis plays, the Red Raiders are?
Yeah, if Jack Francis checks into the ball game.
Best in the business back there in the truck. 25-1, about to improve to 26-1.
Walk on out of Austin.
Jackie Franchise, as they call him internally.
I believe he's still looking for that first 3 of the season.
Yeah, and before we get out of here too, man, we've got some great people that take care of us, and these telecasts do a phenomenal job back there. It takes an army, and they help us out tremendously and make us look good, as hard as that
may be. Leon Horner trying to drive inside. Floater is good. Leon Horner gets into the scorebook. Sophomore from Frisco.
Yeah, kind of the floater right there facing the bucket. Yeah, too much Texas Tech tonight, though, for Colorado. who'd come into this game having won 2 of their last 3. But yeah, life on the road is difficult in this league.
Ifala inside. Red Raiders on a 13-3 run here late in the ballgame when we're inside 1 minute to go. Red Raiders going to win for the 18th time this year, go to 18-6, 8-3 in the Big 12. Colorado, which had won 2 of their last 3, will drop to 14-11 and 4-8. Nolan Groves trying to find a way to get a shot off, cannot, and he travels with the basketball.
Good intentions, just not quite the execution that Nolan Groves wanted. Love the aggressiveness, get downhill, get into the paint, and trying to make a move or spraying it to the perimeter for one of those 3-point looks.
Big night tonight for Donovan Atwell with 20 points. 6 of 10 from outside the 3-point arc to lead the Red Raiders, but a big night too for JT Toppin, who scored 16 points and has 18 rebounds in the ball game. Groves took that one away from Sanders. The Red Raiders have it with just 22 seconds remaining. Jack Francis 3 is not good, and Groves the rebound. Horner they want the ball back in the hands of Jack Francis, but Texas Tech is not going to take another shot.
He had his shot at it, missed it, left it a bit short.
We'll have to wait for another day.
But hey, Big 12 wins are hard to get, and the Red Raiders made this one look easy.
Even harder to get on the road.
Yeah, 78-44, that's right. But you held Colorado to 29% shooting from the field and far below, almost double of point output from what they normally average, almost double than that. And anyway, just an impressive night for the Red Raiders and a business-like effort for sure.
Red Raiders, of course, at Arizona on Saturday. Colorado will play at BYU, still out on the road as the Red Raiders win tonight, 78-44 behind 20 points from Donovan Atwell. Isaiah Johnson 13 to lead Colorado. All games are streaming live or archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of Big 12 basketball on ESPN+. Texas Tech winning tonight 78-44. For Chris Level, I'm John Harris, and for our entire Texas Tech crew saying good night from Lubbock.